Okay, magandang umaga po ulit. Magandang umaga, magandang gabi. Kung saan po kayo part ng bansa. So I just hope and pray po na itong ating lesson for this evening na po dito sa Riyadh. Okay, and I pray na may matutunan tayo ngayong araw na to sa buhay ni David and Goliath. And I'm sure you are familiar with this story. This is an old story. Whatever religion you are familiar with this David and Goliath. So how did this tiny David have defeated this giant Goliath? Okay, so sabi nga, this is the best known love story in all scripture, the story of David and Goliath. And this story is about God's faithfulness, even the most seemingly impossible situation. So ano ba yung ituturo sa atin ng Panginoon ngayon? So we have our own Goliath in our life as well. Sometimes a lot of problems in our life that seems to be impossible to have a solution. It could be unemployment, it could be health problems, it could be family problems, or other things that worry us, or people who just tend to, um, tend to step on us. These things. Sabi nga, itong mga problema na kinakaharap natin, sinabi na rin ito ng Panginoon. Sabi niya dito sa John 16:33, in this world you will have some trouble. In this world you will have some problem. But take heart, I have overcome the world. It is only through Jesus Christ that we can overcome all our problems. Okay, so sabi nga, itong ating pag-aaral, what are the lessons that we can learn from the life of David and Goliath? So let us read the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17. And sometimes on my slides, I only use, it could be NIV or New International Version or New King James Version. Okay, so doon lang sa dalawa ako nag-ano ng mga verses. Okay, so ang importante, this is the word of the Lord. Okay, so basahin natin ha, sabay-sabay natin basahin. Now the Philistines gathered their forces for war and assembled at Sokon, Judah. They pitched camp at Ephes-Dammim between Sokon and Azekah. Saul and the Israelites assembled and camped in the valley of Elah and drew up their battle line to meet the Philistines. The Philistines occupied one hill and the Israelites another, and the valley between them. A champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, came out from the Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and span, or 9.9 feet. He had a bronze helmet on his head and wore a coat of scale armor of bronze weighing 5,000 shekels. So, bakit ba nagkakaroon ng gera that time? So, they are in the valley of Elah, wherein on the other mountain, nandito yung mga Israelites headed by King Saul. And the other side is mga Philistine in the valley of Elah. Okay, so now, dinidescribe lang dito how tall is Goliath, and he is 9 feet tall. Okay, so sabi dito na let us continue in verse 6. On his legs he wore bronze greaves, and a bronze javelin was slung on his back. His spear shaft was like a weaver's coat, and its iron point weighed 600 shekels. The shield bearer went ahead of him. So yeah, the shield bearer who always carries shield. Goliath stood and shouted to the ranks of Israel, "Why do you come out and line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine, and are you not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and have him come down to me." So this is a challenge wherein Goliath is challenging the Israelites to choose a man and have him down to me. At ang sabi niya dito, if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subject and serve us. So whoever wins, magiging slave niya, or these people na under sa kanila will serve them. So either it will not be a battle of the army, kumbaga si Goliath na lang, he is challenging one of the Israelites. Okay, because Philistine really wanted to conquer the land of Israelites. Hanggang ngayon naman kita niyo mga Palestino, the whole Israel is just as big as the New Jersey. Maliit lang ang Israel. But and in Israel, there's also a part where in the Palestine are there. Example is Bethlehem. It's part of Palestine. Well, it's for the longest time, they really wanted to conquer itong Israel. Okay, so let us go back to the lesson of David and Goliath. So then the Philistine said, "This day I defy the armies of Israel. Give me a man and let us fight each other." So sabi niya, "This day I defy the armies of Israel. Give me a man and let's fight each other." And time, um, there are walo sila magkakapatid, sila David, okay? So tatlo sa mga kapatid ni David ay nandoon sa war. Okay, nasa verse 13 na tayo. Jesse's three oldest sons had followed Saul to the war. The firstborn was Eliab, the second Abinadab, and the third is Shammah. So may tatlong kapatid si David na nandoon sa war. David is the youngest. The three oldest followed Saul. But David went back and forth from Saul to tend his father's sheep at Bethlehem for 40 days, and the Philistine came forward every morning and evening and took his stand. So for 40 days, yung challenge ni Goliath, paulit-ulit na lang. Now Jesse said to his son David, "Take this ephah of roasted grain and 10 loaves of bread for your brothers and carry to the camp." So pinadalahan ng tatay ni David, si Jesse, pinadala, nagpadala siya kay David ng bread. Sabi niya, "Take this ephah of roasted grain and 10 loaves of bread for your brothers and hurry up to their camp. Take along these 10 cheese to the commander of the unit and see how your brother or bring back some assurance from them. They are with Saul and all the men of Israel in the valley of Elah fighting against the Philistines." So early in the morning, David left the flock in the care of a shepherd, loaded up and set up as Jesse had directed. He reached the camp as the army was going out to its battle position, shouting the war. Israel and the Philistines were drawing up their lines facing each other. David left his things with the keeper of supplies front to the battle lines and asked the brothers how they were. So David went there to his brother, okay? So, because naririnig na ni David na itong si Goliath ay nagsisisigaw. Kasi nga, 40 days and 40 nights nagsisigaw si Goliath, asking for a man to fight him. As he was talking with them, Goliath, the Philistine champion from Gath, stepped up from his line and shouted his usual defiance, and David heard it. So, when David visited his brother, again, David heard that Goliath is challenging again the soldiers of the Israelites. Whenever the Israelites saw the man, they all fled from him in great fear. So, see talagang, because he is tall, he is fully geared, the soldiers of Israel are afraid of Goliath. Verse 25, now the Israelites have been saying, "Do you see how this man keeps coming out? He comes out to defy Israel. The king will give great wealth to the man who kills him. He will also give him his daughter in marriage and will exempt his family from taxes in Israel." So, nagbigay na uh, ng gift or hadiah si King David, si King Saul, "Whoever can kill this man," sabi niya. So sabi niya, the king will give great wealth to the man who kills him, and he will give him yung daughter pa. So David asked the men standing near him, "What will be done for the man who kills the Philistine and removes this disgrace from them?" Nakakatuwa si David because this is how he uh, addressed si Goliath. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living? Seeing nakita nyo na hindi natakot si David, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? They repeated to him what they had been saying and told him, "This is what will be done for the man who kills him." So, nasa verse 28 na tayo. When Eliab, David's oldest brother, heard him speaking with the men, he burned with anger at him and asked, "Why have you come down here? And with whom did you leave those sheep in the wilderness? I know how conceited you are and how wicked your heart is. You came down only to watch the battle." So nagalit yung mga kapatid niya, si Eliab. At sabi niya nga, bakit siya bumaba doon sino nagtitendong sheep? "I know how conceited you are and how wicked your heart is." In short, nagagalit yung mga kapatid niya, bakit siya pumunta doon. At sabi nga, maliit lang si David. maybe 5'3", 5'3" to 5'4". Now what have I done, said David. Can I even speak? So nung pinapagalitan siya, nagsabi si David, can I even speak? He then turned away to someone else and brought up the same matter, and the man answered him as before. What David said was overheard and reported to Saul, and Saul sent for him. David said to Saul, let no one lose heart on the account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him. Saul replied, you are not able to go out against this Philistine and find him. You are only a young man. He has been a warrior from his youth. So nag-volunteer si David that he will fight this Goliath, that he will fight this giant. And even King Saul are saying, you are not able to go out against this Philistine and fight. If you are only a young man, wherein this Goliath has been a warrior since his youth. But David said to Saul, your servant had been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came and carried off the sheep from the flock, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the sheep from its mouth. When it turned on me, I seized it by the hair and struck it and killed it. So, pinagmayabang ni David that he killed a lion, he killed a bear. So, he can also kill Goliath. So, that's how Goliath replied to the king. And nasa verse 36 na tayo. Your servant has killed both the lion and the bear. Yun ang sinasabi ni David. I have killed lion and the bear. This uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them because he has defied the armies of the living. So, 37, the Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of the Philistine. Saul said to David, go and the Lord be with you. Okay, then Saul dressed David in his own tunic. He put a coat of armor on him, bronze helmet on his head. So binigyan ni Saul si David ng kanyang mga paraphernalia, coat of armor, tunic, bronze helmet. But David fastened on his sword over the tunic and tried walking out because he was not used to them. I cannot go in this. So nung sinuot ni David, hindi siya makalakad because it is too heavy and he was just a young boy. He said to Saul, because I am not used to them, he took them off. So, wala siyang kinuhang armor. Binigyan siya ng helmet, binigyan siya ng armor, and then he took it out. Kasi hindi kasya sa kanya. So, what he did, then he took his staff in his hand, just 5 smooth stones from the stream, put them in the pouch of a shepherd's bag. And with his sling in his hand, approached the Philistine. So, he got the staff. Okay, he got 5 stone and he got a sling. That's all he had. Okay, so verse 41. Meanwhile, the Philistine with his shield, spear in front of him, kept coming closer to David. He looked David over and saw that he was a little more than a boy, glowing with health and handsome, and he despised him. He said to David, am I a dog that you come with me with sticks? Yun ang sinabi ni Goliath kasi nga nung naglakad si David, siyempre may sticks pa siya. Sabi tuloy ni Goliath, am I a dog that you come with me with sticks? And then, sabi ni David, come here, he said, and I'll give you flesh, and I'll give your flesh to the animals and wild animals. David said to the Philistine, you come against with me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defiled. Yun ang sinabi niya. You have all these swords, spear, and javelin. I only have come in the name of Jesus. Okay, so let us continue. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, sabi ni David, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head. This very day I will give the carcasses of the Philistine army to the birds and the wild animals, and all the world will know that there is a God of Israel. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord. And he will give you all of you into our hands. And the Philistine moved closer. To attack David. David ran quickly toward the battle line to meet him. Reaching into his bag and taking out a stone, he slung it and struck the Philistine on the forehead. The stone sank into the forehead and he fell face down on the ground. So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone without a sword in his hand. He struck down the Philistine and killed him. So, sa tinamaan sa forehead, pumunta sa forehead. Okay, so verse 51 na tayo. David ran and stood over him. He took hold of the Philistine sword and drew it from the sheath. After he killed him, he cut off his head. So pinutulo niya yung head with sword. When the Philistines saw that the hero was dead, they turned and ran. So when Goliath died, when he was beheaded by David, all these Philistines ran away. Then the men of Israel and Judah surged forward with a shout and pursued the Philistines to the entrance of Gath and to the gates of Ekron. Their dead were strewn along the Sharam road to Gath and Ekron. When the Israelites returned from chasing the Philistines, they plundered their camp. David took the Philistines' head and brought it to Jerusalem. He put the Philistines' weapon in his own tent. Okay, so dinala ni David yung ulo ni Goliath sa Jerusalem, and he put all the Philistine weapon in his own hand. As Saul watched David going out to meet the Philistines, said to Abner, commander of the army, Abner, whose son is that young man? Abner replied, surely as you live, your majesty, I don't know. The king said, find out whose son this young man is. As soon as David returned from killing the Philistine, Abner took him and brought him before Saul with David, still holding the Philistine head. Whose son are you, young man? Saul asked him. David said, I'm the son of your servant Jesse of Bethlehem. Okay, so nabasa natin yung the whole chapter of 1 Samuel 17. At ano ba ang tinuturo sa atin ng Panginoon based dito sa nabasa natin? There are 4 battle strategies in slaying the giant. Sabi nga, the Lord wanted us to be giant slayers. Sabi nga, giant slayers don't tolerate the giant in our life. Kita nyo how David looked at how David described Goliath. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he would defy the armies of the living God? Ganun niya, in-address ito si Goliath. Hindi sinabi, sino yung matangkad niyo? Sino higanting niyo na nakakatakot? Hindi niya ganon in-address si Goliath. Because David, he focuses on God. He sees God more than he sees the problem. So, sabi nga the Lord wanted us to be giant slayer. And if you wanted to be a giant slayer, you will not tolerate the giant. You will not focus how big is your problem. You will not look at your Goliath as big. Sabi nga, if you have a problem as big as the boat, God is as big as the ocean. Diba? Ganun laging mas malaki ang Panginoon sa ating mga buhay. And this is a childlike faith that the Lord wanted us to have. A childlike faith like David. David, depend on the Lord. Ang sabi nga ni David, you have come with sword, with spears, and with your javelin. I only come in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. So whatever problem we had, we should not be intimidated how big is our problem is. Okay, so sabi nga dito, giant slayers don't listen to what others are saying. Even though others are saying, kawawa ka naman, laki ng problema mo. Parang ito, sinabi ni Saul kay David, you are not able to go out against the Philistine and fight him. You are only a boy, and he has been a fighting man since his youth. Even King Saul told David, but you cannot fight this man. You are just a young boy. And this Goliath has been a warrior ever since he was youth. But, if you want to be a giant slayer, you will not listen what others are saying. Okay? But we should only believe on what God is saying to us. So, dapat lagi tayong magpakatatag. Kung ano man ang sinasabi ng iba, hindi dapat pumapasok sa atin yon. You know why? In Psalm 45:7, ang sabi ng Panginoon, God has anointed you, pouring out the oil of joy on you more than anyone else. The Lord had poured out an oil of joy sa atin. So, an oil, hindi yan madulas ang oil, right? So, the oil of joy na sinasabi ng Panginoon, if you are binabato ka ng mga negative things, because you are covered with oil, it will just, hindi siya didikit sa'yo. It will just go onto your feet, and it will go into the feet of Jesus, because Jesus died for our sins. Jesus died for our sin. Jesus redeemed us from death. This is to restore the joy in our heart. Even we have a big problem, even if we have Goliath in our life, the Lord will lift us up, because the Lord have anointed us His oil of joy. At ang sabi pa nga dito, Giant Slayer remember their God stories. For so many years, the Lord have delivered us already. Sabi dito, the Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of the Philistines. See how David looked back, how David shared the stories, how God delivered him from the lion and from the bear. So he go back, how God is faithful in his life. At ang sabi pa dito ni Goliath, am I a dog that you come out with me with sticks? And the Philistine cursed David by his dogs. Come here, he said, and I'll give you a flesh to the birds of the air and the beasts of the field. Even though that Goliath is intimidating David, David is not intimidated at all, because he doesn't believe on what Goliath is saying. He believes of who God is. So same thing din sa atin. We should always believe, we should always bear in mind who God is in our life. Sabi nga dito sa Psalm 103 verse 2, bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all His benefits. We should always look back how God is so gracious to us. Sa ating lang paghinga, this is a gift, ang ating paghinga. Inhale, exhale. This is a gift from the Lord. Ang buhay mo, for all the blessing, it is all from God. We are still standing because of only by God's grace. So giant slayers focus on God, not giants. So sabi nga dito ni David, you come out with sword, with spear, and with javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Because ito yung faith na gusto sa atin ng Panginoon. Kahit it seems impossible to fight or to battle the problems or the troubles that we have, if we focus on the Lord will deliver us, the Lord will sustain us, the Lord will restore the joy in our heart. Sabi nga sa Psalm 20 verse 7, some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. So, some trust in chariots, some trust in horses. Ibig sabihin nun, yung nakikita mo, you only trust this. For example, you have faith with your bank account. It's just your bank account. But it's not all that matters. What matters is how God sustain you, how God always provide for our needs. Sabi nga, He's our Jehovah Jireh. So He will always provide for our needs. Just like how the Lord anointed David, who killed Goliath. So sa ating buhay, we should always keep looking up kay Jesus, which is the author and perfecter of our faith. So dapat hindi tayo na sa sidetrack, because we are not alone in our battles. At ang lagi-laging sinasabi ng Panginoon, be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power only. And yung ating memory verse, yung Philippians 4:13, I can do everything through Him who give me strength, or I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Yun ang sabi. It is only by God's grace that God will strengthen us. So sabi niya, what impossible to us is always possible to God. Because in Luke 1:37, if we put this in our heart, for nothing is impossible with God. Luke 1:37. Walang imposible sa ating Panginoon. So ang challenge sa ating puso, how do you face the giants of your life? We have our own problems. But ang gusto lang ng Panginoon is, do we have a heart with the Lord? Do we have courage to face our fears? Or the Lord wanted us to have a heart na ibibigay natin sa Panginoon, because this is the only way that the Lord can face our battle for us. Sabi nga, laging ang Panginoon ang nasa harapan natin to fight for our battles because the battle belongs to the Lord. And all the Lord wanted is fully surrender, to fully commit our life with Him. Sabi nga, do not forget who you are in the sight of the Lord. The Lord, depression comes in our life if we forgot who we are. And, sabi nga sa John 1:12, yet to all who did receive Him, to those who believe in His name, He gave the right to become the children of God. So we are God's children. And we should always stand firm sa ating, sa ating kinalalagyan. We should not be swayed. We should stand in faith with the Lord. At hindi tayo papabayaan ng Panginoon. At sa 1 John 4, for you, dear children, are from God and have overcome them. Because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. Greater is He that is in us than He that is in this world. So, lagi nating isipin yan, mga kapatid, that greater is He that is in us than He that is in this world. So, whatever big our problem is, gaano man siya kalaki, gaano man siya kaimposible na masolusyonan, with God, nothing is impossible. So sabi nga ulit in Luke 1:37, for nothing is impossible with God. So, maraming salamat. So let us keep the faith. Sabi nga, patuloy tayong manalangin, patuloy tayong magkaroon ng pananampalataya sa ating Panginoon because with God, we can do all things through Him who can strengthen us. God bless.